I don't know why, but you look kind of pixelated. I know. There we go. Well, hello, hello.
Hi.
Look at that
I was
beautiful
listening to
bracelet.
Michael Jackson because Mercury is in Leo, and I felt that was fitting.
Yeah, he was definitely a showstopper.
Yes, he was.
That's funny. Like right as I opened YouTube, oh, Michael Jackson's right there. All right.
See, I told you. Good times all around. I've been
Always.
listening to more of Michael Jackson lately,
Oh yeah.
but a lot of jazz. A lot of jazz. Bill Miller. A lot of Bill Evans. That's his name. Bill Evans.
I'm not
Yeah,
familiar.
a lot of jazz.
I
It's
am not.
strange, right? Like Uranus moved into Gemini, and even some of the taste of your music gets fiddled with in some way.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
hearing a lot of like remixes. Like to where and even you think about like the reels and stuff lately, they'll you
mm-hmm.
know that I don't give a fuck and then they're mixing in like 3 9
Yeah,
blondes with it,
right.
like that's I think that's really kind of catchy, definitely Gemini having 2 songs play in one,
Yeah.
one online reel, it's pretty
Or
Uranus
you're
and
making
Gemini.
the choo-choo train, toot toot, all around the house. Geminis, they like to make noises, you know.
You were dancing around like a ballerina earlier,
I
right before we
This is
went online.
normal for me. This is even without all these transits, this is normal for me.
True,
The
true.
the the play,
You
returning to play. Very interesting because Gemini is also the elementary raising of, you would say, kindergarten through 6th grade, roughly. Um, so there's a lot of peer pressure. There's a lot of extracurricular activities.
all
It would
kinds of
also influence
activities.
the social structure of the household in the sense of these are basic mannerisms, being polite, etiquette at the table, watching out for one another. And that's my segue into Venus in Libra conjunct the moon right now, but opposite Saturn. Tell them what you told me earlier.
Um, are you saying the Venus opposite Saturn? Sorry, I was saying hi to Lulu in chat.
Oh,
I
hi,
was
Lupita.
I was scrolling. I was having a
Oh, I
Gemini
love
moment. Sorry, I
that.
wasn't multitasking well. What were you saying? The opposition
When
with
you were just down here, we were talking about the chart real quick, but Venus opposite Saturn. Daddy-daughter issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Daddy-daughter issues, and there was other reasons I said daddy-daughter issues because we got Sirius and Juno all involved with,
Oh
the
yeah,
Saturn,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Saturn
yeah.
part, but also it could just be problems with authority, problems with your boss, problems with anybody that's trying to hold you back, from what it
Yes,
is that you desire, pretty
yes.
much.
You may feel that with Neptune and Aries right now, there's a square to Mars. So you may have some long held pent up frustrations and resentments kind of rise to the surface. And what happens is your little petty ass starts pulling some bullshit all around the house. And next thing you know, somebody's like, you know, you're eating with my fork. My
Pet,
fork.
petty, petty,
Why
petty.
don't you just eat with my fork then? God. Very petty, like stealing your sibling's shoe. I stole your shoe and they won't find it for 3 hours. Very petty. But it
Hmm.
also is like Oh my God, I'm going to say this because it fits very well for that Mars in Cancer squaring Neptune. It would be like flushing your toilet. And it comes, the whole purging is that fast. It is an yelling, screaming, all the idealizations you've had and the frustrations and resentments. And instead of it starting a fight, it just falls to the floor empty. We're not really going to confront. It's more like somebody is listening or they got their attention now. It's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
have my attention, sir.
Mars and Cancer isn't the most comfortable. It's not its most comfortable in that sign. And if you
And
think
squaring
about that
Neptune, it's a
squared,
martyrdom.
yeah, squaring that Neptune, Mars can act out of some sort of misunderstanding, because Neptune isn't clear. It's foggy. It's not really
There's
seeing the full story. And
it would
so, it's like this story we tell ourselves in our head about the way things are
that
in a way, and then
movie.
and then you go and you act on it, and everybody's looking to you like, why the hell did you just do that? What's wrong with you? It's like there's some underlying aggression going on with Mars squaring up to Neptune and its delusions or illusions about where they want to be in their life and why they aren't there yet, and all those things. Could
I
also
think
be,
the
I also just got flashed this, and I know it's sidebar, but the Saturn Venus opposition and then the Mars square the Neptune is almost like uh, um I could also see like a parent catching somebody sneaking out or doing something they're not supposed to do, or indulging in something that they're not supposed to be indulging in.
taboo, something taboo,
Yeah, a little
and the
bit
parent
like,
going,
yeah, yeah, caught a little
Frank,
baggy.
look at what our daughter is doing.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
Be like,
Mm-hmm. I learned it from watching you. Okay, Mars and Cancer.
right?
I learned it from
I was
watching
watching you.
you. Hi, Badir. Hi,
I
Lulu.
idolized you. You messed
Well,
me up because I was idolizing. It's like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Don't be a hypocrite. Let's not be a hypocrite this
Let's
weekend,
not be
folks.
hypocritical, Mars square Neptune.
That's right. We're gonna throw in. Do you have a chart
I
loaded
do
up?
have a chart. I
I
do.
I have not gone through and built mine yet, but what asteroids do we want to play with today? What do you got thrown in yours?
Wait a second. Wait a second. Pause. 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 My life. I need to open the. This will work. This will work. Yay. Chart.
Pause. Rewind.
Brains.
And then we got Chiron in the mix too.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's square Juno in Capricorn.
I am noticing this very distinct split between older folks and younger folks and how this is affecting them. You know, the screaming and the yelling and the throwing things is that's one way. I'll say it like that.
Just remember
But
somebody's
the
watching.
mature thing and being able to discuss something and be upset. I mean, that is another thing. It would be a lot like, well, the reason I didn't lose my temper is I didn't know I had permission to lose my temper.
Mm.
And it's sort of like Mars squaring Neptune saying you don't need permission. There's also the sort of looking at it. Hold on. I'm trying to find us.
You trying to find us in the Zoom so you can see who you're talking to.
Myself.
That's always fun times.
I know, right?
I'm just brilliant.
I'm
I'll tell
pacing in my
myself that
room
all
going,
day.
you're right. You're right, though. You are right.
That's funny.
God. That's great. Where did you
Oh,
go? Get over here. Get over
I'm
here.
here. I don't know. We're not showing like now we're showing kind of side by side, but on the main screen we weren't. So
I know you
yes, we got the chart of the moment. Can you zoom it up
you
for
like that
us?
one.
Yeah, that looks
That's
great actually for once. It's not faded out. So just scroll it down. There we
getting better.
go. It's so
Practice
pretty.
makes perfect. Yes.
All right.
And the martyrdom can get a little carried away, y'all. She is right. Chiron is at 0 degrees. So we sat down yesterday and we did a thing together because I've been reading this book by what's that guy's name? I don't know. It'll come to me. Maybe. No, it won't. Anyway, this
He
is
has a
not
book down
my
there.
mine, but the guy says it like this. He went, "We only feel manipulated when we do not share the same values as the other person." And so we sat down and did an exercise yesterday that was kind of fun. And we wrote out our values and then we assigned it a ranking, and then we ran the chart through one of my filters on AI, and we came back with a full list of our values. And I was like, you know what, dude, if you matched this to other people, you wouldn't be so confused. You wouldn't be lost in the sauce. I don't know if you brought up your values, but I'll read a couple of mine that came out through AI when I did the filter, like, fairness, harmony, and balance, warm, loyal, chosen community, careful, skilled service to something unseen, a calling that nurtures and protects. You're welcome. That was the passive aggressive
That's your
Mars in
Mars and
Cancer,
Cancer. Yeah,
but that's
yeah, I
my
saw
natural
that.
self. Worth defined on your own terms, being fully your own person inside connections, depth and truth, beauty and grace, inspired meaning in words, initiative, and fresh starts. And then Heather's had,
Yeah, I don't. I
coffee.
mean, the verbiage it used was different, than I said, but some of them were really on point. Some were a bit off on the ranking on importance to me. Like one of them
Right,
that you had was
creativity,
well, yeah, creativity definitely, but it was about being truthful and saying what you mean
being
and
blunt,
following through. Oh yeah, being flat, being being
flamboyantly blunt.
being blunt for the sake of transparency versus friendliness.
Right.
That's
Will not
high.
sacrifice self for you.
That's high on my list. And you're like, no, it ranked it as like 9. I was like, yeah, yeah, I tell
That's
you,
me looking
it's
at you going, yeah, yeah, that sounds right, actually. I,
but
I
but
believe, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah,
It
compassion
was
and
very interesting
yeah.
to kind of look at it from the Taurus Scorpio perspective. And I mean, we could be born in the same families and be shown and taught and imprinted like the same ways, and we would still have separate value systems. I think you said it yesterday. It's like a fingerprint almost. Was that you that said that yesterday? But
Mm,
it makes sense because you could put siblings all together in a line and they'll all value different things. You know, one's a
very
dancer
true.
and one's an athlete. And, I think that's why the development of Leo from 5 to 11 ish, roughly, that period of life where there's peer pressure for the first time and we're receiving influence from people who are not part of our families and our
Right,
direct everyday.
right.
And Leo would have that energy kind of sitting there saying, how are you with your siblings?
Mm-hmm.
You know, are you captain of the team? Are you out front in some way? The sun in Leo. And what was that? It was, look at that. We didn't even talk about that, meow. The sun touching Saturn. It's moving into, no, it's moving away from that trine to Saturn. It was the inconjunct from Juno to the sun. That first inconjunct. And we see Saturn as the football star. We see, and you could be seeing it in your relationships, that Venus opposite Saturn right here. Who are you to me? Who are you to me? You know? And I wanted to add this in there. If you guys have Cancer over your second house, then it would be a relationship, yes, but one that's connected to your actual house. Like your toilet or your sink could have gone off track. You know, somebody could have run over one of the sprinkler heads in the yard, and now you're having to deal with an outside force, maybe even a contractor that you use frequently or something, and there's an issue there. And you know, they're late, they're 5 days late, and I'm going to start being petty. But if you have Cancer over the 8th, for me, this would definitely say that there is something that is shared, yes, and it's getting in everybody's way, more than likely, but it's the powerful nature of, what would you say? Because Cancer has that, there could be like something in the home, like an appliance. That's what I wanted to say. Something like an appliance and a water line going out on a fridge. Now you get a new fridge. A generator, something that would cover power to the house. That could be the case with Cancer over the 8th. So
Well, yeah,
that
and
axis right there, second house, 8th house, I'm trying to give you some real 3D sort of examples so that, you know, I always think they get left out because we're always talking relationship stuff. And
well,
the second
yeah,
house, you know, it's the relationship you have with your house.
and when we're showing you these things and she's pointing out eighth house, I mean, we're looking at the chart of the moment. So we're not really we're delineating basically this moment right now,
Yeah.
right? Like and today and today's energy and stuff, but every few minutes like the rising sign changes and it shifts, but she's just giving you that particular dynamic. I was going to say that Libra in the 7th opposite Saturn, and that square down to Cancer Cirrus, that's a big T square, and that's a lot of, to me, I think
Dude,
that's asking for a
mom's in
lot.
front of the daughter.
Yeah, I know.
Mom's in front of the
It's
daughter.
literally like it's a daughter dynamic opposite the father, and it's
Man,
squaring down to an uncomfortable masculine inability to take the amount of
he's
action that
acting
he
like an
wants to
old
take
man.
down there
Acting
in
like just like an old man.
Cancer. But I
Yeah.
could see also, real quick, I'll just add in this caveat that Venus in Libra, although she's good in Libra, with the opposition to Saturn and squaring down, there could also be a legal correspondence or something coming
Mm,
through, a legal matter that's being dealt with. It could just be financial, it could be also with a business partnership, but it isn't taking direct action from home about it. And I mean, well, I hope if anybody's going through legal stuff right now that it ends up turning out in your favor with Venus being in its a home sign. But yeah, the father-daughter dynamic is definitely there, but also the wound with Chiron at 0 degrees. We were talking about values, right?
values.
So Chiron retrograde in Taurus at 0 degrees, squaring Juno at 28 in Capricorn. Let's talk more about that because when we were downstairs, we didn't talk about the Chiron, the
Tell him
wound
about
of the
Juno
value.
on the run. Like
So
she's
Juno's had that story playing out where there's so many things to talk about, but Juno was riding it out hardcore with Pluto for months, just within degrees orbs. And she's retrograded back into Capricorn, which is a lot more serious and and
Mm.
grounded in what next actions are going to be. She is reevaluating her role. I just heard the word peacekeeper. I just heard that, but then with all of this animosity, it's almost like she's playing peacekeeper for an inadequate Mars. That is not fully functioning proper with all this extra tension and dynamic. But her going back, she's seen some stuff going through Pluto and Earth's. It reveals. It could have been like an online reveal, seeing that it's Aquarius. It could have been finding evidence about something that wasn't okay, or seeing something that's broken and needing to get it fixed. So I got to go
Mm.
back to the Capricorn level, but the Juno did, I feel like Juno got extra detached in Aquarius, and she's still hanging on to that detachment, but in a form of authority. So in a way, it's kind of like Juno is playing boss bitch to try to correct a bunch of stuff. And I think Juno is like, look, I'm standing outside this situation. I'm still going to do what I'm still going to do. I'm not just going to up and leave my responsibilities. That's
Yeah,
Juno
yeah,
is very committed. So she's
that's
not
right.
just going to leave her
No,
responsibilities,
she doesn't leave the
but
hard stuff.
she is voice. I feel like I'm keep wanting to move back to
This
Mercury.
petty
Man,
shit.
Mercury and
It's
with
so
Mercury
funny.
and Leo trining to Saturn, she is speaking her truth, and she's speaking, this is the way, this is, if this is going to work, we need to do this. And I don't think Mars is happy about it. I really don't think so. Jupiter's in Leo, and if you couple that with Mercury and the sun
Yeah,
being there too, like, so we have almost, it already passed its conjunction. So Mercury passed Jupiter. Jupiter Big Daddy already said some shit when
yeah,
Mercury already said some shit when paired up with Jupiter. And you notice it was opposing Pluto. So it was big and it left a mark. It left a mark. June is
yeah.
going to go
Like
back
it
and talk
hit
about it.
whatever happened in the past week, it hit and it,
Yeah.
jarred you in some way because it was supposed to transform you. And so now we know that we're not the same person we were, you know, 2 weeks ago. We're not, because once you receive knowledge, there's no going back. There's no going back. You
You
can't
can't
not.
undo the value system being off. You
Yes.
can't undo that. And Juno sees
No.
it.
And it's your
So,
core value system,
yeah.
your core. So we're not talking about something like, let's go down and instead of French fries, I want a sweet potato. It's not like that. The core of, like, you could actually change your personality before you could change your character. Changing the character is a very, very, very difficult thing to do.
Hmm.
Extremely, because Taurus will not let go. Hell no. You're
Not
not
at
going to do it.
all.
So when something alters, like let's say you have um there's Taurus, and we go to the inconjunct, the relational piece with Taurus and what they choose to be in relationship with, their house, their car, their clothes, doesn't matter. We're reaching outside of ourselves and we have to grab a connection that's going to give us a bridge to something else. So we're looking at Venus, mom, and the sister are sitting. You ever have well, you have a sister, tell them.
Yeah, I have three sisters.
And if your mom was siding with your sisters, it would have been like, dad doesn't have a chance in hell.
Yeah, I guess.
Dad, go to your
Well,
shop.
I think a lot of this conversation that Juno talks about maturity. Although she's retrograde, she's
It's
like just
true.
coming off of 29 degrees. And
Mm-hmm.
like it's almost like the kids will be kids. Parents will be parents,
Mm-mm.
like adults will be adults, but you're acting like a kid right now. And it's your job to be the responsible one to say, hey, this is our responsibility no matter what. We need to get through this together. Here are, okay, so you said earlier documents. Juno and Capricorn has to do
Mm,
also with documents,
documents.
right? So, which also plays kind of a bit of role with Saturn, I want to say as well. But if that's the case, Juno may be writing like internally. I mean, it's out in the world. It's been said Juno's out and about, but I think the internal factor of the retrograde is figuring out and lining things up on where they need to go. And honestly, y'all, what is it? September. I want to say I'd have to look up the exact date, but she's going to be retrograde in Capricorn until like mid-September. And then in October, Venus is going to be is going to go retrograde. And
Yeah.
Venus retrograde, oh, and I'm getting thrown the Mars retrograde from 2 years ago that happened in
Dude.
Cancer. Okay.
Mm,
So
mm-mm.
this is a long story playing out. Okay. And going all the way, it can be touching all the way back to Mars and Cancer retrograde. So
Dude,
this
that
first
was
time
7 months of misery for
it
all of us.
frickin' was. And Mars is
Awful.
back and he remembers, and I think that's triggering some of that, like, why am I the same thing again? I'm coming back to the same thing again. And
I did this
I'm
last
trying to act
time.
forcefully the same exact way, like I'm going to get a different
Exactly.
result.
This happened exact last time.
Like we've been
It's
through
like
this shit
that.
for 2 years now, right? Like we're coming into the same thing again, and
Almost feel like,
the child
what?
like passive aggressive, like
Yes.
it's got to go because it's the same
Like
thing.
if I'm
So
going to keep trying and get the same results, that's usually called insanity. It's approaching, and instead of always taking a right, you take a left. I was talking with a friend earlier today, and it was like um, this expression of saying she was wanting a description of Aquarius energy, and I said, think about a tattoo without any color, but you can fill the tattoo in with various colors depending on the resources you have around you. So there's usually a purpose for the group or the gathering. And then you have different people that will come and go, and they add different color, different flavors.
mhm.
And they shift and move because Aquarius it's an air sign. It's an air sign, but it's fixed. So it would be like an extremely large air pattern. We're all going in the same direction. We want to take care of our church, right? All of us come out every other weekend because we want the church. If your town burns down and all of the people show up and they say, we brought our shovels and our hammers and we're going to rebuild because this is our town. There's a purpose in a gathering, and this is Aquarius energy. And then everybody is, they're putting a bit of their own color, individual colors like a rainbow all over the place. But it is still an air sign. So there is flow. It's just managed flow. Does that make sense?
It does.
So when
It
Pluto is in Aquarius, I mean, really anything can happen. The group can rise up or the group can get squashed. You know, the liberty that we once had, we get a new boss. We ain't got those liberties anymore. You know, things can change. We got a new CEO and he's a vegan. Now he took all of our, Debbie snacks and filled the fridge with carrots and stuff. And you're like, why? Why? So it's like
yeah.
a dominant factor that you will be powerless over. And because Leo is involved and Jupiter is there, Leo covers our hobbies. Like, dude, last night Heather busted out
Oh.
for the first time. She busted out all of her jewelry making stuff. And it was, man,
We
earrings. Look, I got a bracelet
ooh.
on. Ooh,
Ah.
ooh,
Ooh. Ah. It
ooh.
was so
There's Right.
I'm having the South Node sweep my fifth house, y'all. So it is a passion of mine, but I set it
Yeah.
down with all the chaos and moving in my life that I haven't had a chance to just set down, sort out, and go through my stuff. And
Yeah.
so I've been wanting to create again. So I
Leo is
got
like the modality
it's
that you
hobbies.
choose
Yeah, it's
to
hobbies, it's creative.
express.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
falling in love and expressing that love. That's why, we're down here on the border next to Mexico. I promise you, there are mariachi bands everywhere. I went to a funeral once and they
Oh
had a
no.
mariachi band at the
My
funeral in the
goodness.
funeral home. It was so loud. And it was just kind of like,
Celebration of
culture
life.
shock,
Yeah.
culture shock. But it's the way that you desire to express yourself. And
Yeah.
then you get to choose a group of people, usually your friends, that you can go croon with. Some people may stand up and say, you know what? I can play the drums. I'm going to go join a band. And off they go because that's how they want to express themselves. So you may have some projects right now that you're working on. Some may be new inspirations with new hobby tools. There's also games. Games fit Leo, right? So people may be more playful than normal.
Mhm.
And if they're in the wrong group, the group may want to change the rules. And what's the individual Leo going to do when they're not out in front and people are like
Or
changing the
the star of
rules?
the show. They aren't the star of the
They
show.
aren't the
They
star of
aren't
the
good at the
show. The
game.
game doesn't work unless all of us are playing. Leo
Yeah.
can also rule our romantic sector in
Ooh.
maybe you're being offered a different kind of person because that would also fit this. And then getting snooty, patootie, I'd be like, look, grumpy face, turn that frown upside down. You seem really upset. Just no. And the South Node being there in Leo as well, because it's pulling in what makes us most confident. We are very familiar with this person, place, or thing. It really doesn't matter. We have familiarity with it. We're just being shocked and surprised with a new offer, and it could quite possibly include a new group.
Mm. I think that the sun shining down to Saturn, Sun and Leo, down to Saturn and Aries is talking about. I know I moved forward. I agreed with everything. I agree with everything you said. I was sitting here nodding,
I
but
was like,
um,
your turn.
oh, okay. You were already there.
I
Gotcha. Well,
was.
I picked up that flow. Well, so I think that that sun shining down to Saturn is offering a little bit of hope that maybe Saturn, hey, don't you remember what it's like to be young? Hey, don't you remember what it's like to just let relax a little bit, let it remember what you were like when you were young. If you got a kid that's pissing you off, remember what you were like when you were that age.
Yeah.
And if it's Leo, I see it, yes, it could be elementary, but I also see teenage years, especially going into Virgo. So this
I see
story's going to be
teenage
going
with
on for a while.
Virgo.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm kind of like maybe preteen, but ultimately the energy itself, it asked for a little bit of grace, to
It
say, hey,
does.
here's a possibility that if you can just ease up a little bit and it's okay to be serious, but
Our
let it
concern
up.
earlier
Quit cracking the
was
whip.
that by the time the full moon comes around, Mercury is going to be crossing over the spot where the sun is. And our concern was a repeat of the same thing that you're going through today. It'll be the same topic because the sun put a spotlight on it. So, whatever that thing was that went ding this week, and give it a week, and maybe people are just sitting with it in shock because Pluto was involved. But
I
the
was, yeah.
entire conversation will be had by the full moon.
Well, yeah, and I think so if
So,
if there's been animosity or something that there was a blow up and everybody's sitting on the side, whether you had a whether
mhm.
you know, crossed the line with a customer at work, crossed the line with your boss, with your spouse, whatever,
I don't cross
you
lines.
might be
Mm-mm.
sitting in it trying not to instigate, you know? I mean, ultimately the animosity, I feel like animosity and resentment definitely is lying underneath, but it also is like I think that there's a bit of a calm, but it's gonna come back. The
It's like a
topic.
police officer giving you a ticket, and your petty ass with Mars and Cancer throws your milkshake at his vehicle.
Yeah.
Stupid
It,
cop.
yeah,
And
yeah,
oh, a week from now, you're going to be standing in front of the judge. Like, shouldn't have
yeah,
done that, bro.
yeah,
Should not
definitely.
have done that.
Definitely. So but it is a story that's it's gonna come back around. Like she's talking about the moon. We got an upcoming Pisces eclipse at what, like 4 or 5 Pisces at the very last day of the month, I think.
And, ooh,
But
what happens when Mars hits that spot?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Mars will be trucking and it's going to hit that spot. That's the will.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the day that you decide what your will is, how you want to execute it? It'll be in Leo too, so it might come on real fast.
Look at that in
I
a
think that
conjunct.
Juno's down here talking with Ceres, and there's a conversation of abundant home life, abundant family energy, the responsibilities and commitments we have to our home, not just our homes. This is like the inside of our homes. Some of you people may be moving out of your home, and you may feel a strong loss, kicking their cat out the door. You petty ass. Because remember, Mars in Cancer is very passive aggressive. I
Yeah.
know because I have Mars in Cancer. I can't say that I've done a whole heck of a lot of like petty things, but oh, I've said some petty things.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, like
mm,
I know what I'm
mm.
capable of. But look at that in conjunct to Pluto.
The series piece,
Yeah, Pluto and
yeah.
Mars and
This is
Ceres.
the other person's like purposeful group. You could have a different, not just language, different food, you know. Uh dude, come on, man. If you have one of these Air Force dudes that falls in love with the beautiful Mexican women out here and they get married and he cannot handle hot food, we got trouble. And this would be all of her 15 brothers
That's funny.
going. You remember the movie with Matthew Perry and the Mexican brothers take him out into the desert and there's a rattlesnake that bites him on the butt? That was
Mm-mm.
great, man. This is the setup for that.
I was just thinking about Landman,
Oh,
where
yes.
the son gets involved with the Hispanic mama, the new mama, and her all the family's like, "What? You don't like heat?" And he's like, "Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot." They all keep
Oh,
razzing
yes,
him, and
yes. And he's
he
going,
can he's already
like at the
scrawny
funeral, he's like,
anyways. Like,
it's good. But you're right. You're right about that in conjunct to series because the overabundance of family, maybe someone is realizing that their love has been conditional
I
and they
said
love a
something
person
about
like their family.
conditional love came out in a topic last night too, about the
Values,
values
conditional
missing.
love, earning love, love that must be earned. Yeah, we were talking about my chart. We were talking
Oh,
about my chart.
okay.
And then it had that you don't get praise and accolades unless there's a performance that goes with it. It was that. And yes, Saturn and Venus will do that. You only want me for my t-shirts. You don't want me for my flip-flops.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's
you
like
know? And you're like,
it's funny.
I got my own flip-flops. Is that a
That
thing?
that's right. Like, hey, you're not being the you know, the I'm seeing a 1950s housewife, right? Like with her apron, making the
Proper.
apple pie, and
Yes.
all the kids are
Just giving him what he
perfect.
wants, all of it.
That's
But
a like Mars square
inside,
Neptune. That's not
inside,
real world.
she's collecting memories
I was
and
thinking about the other side of it, but yeah, you're right
having,
with Cirrus.
the boredom, feeling rejected constantly, being pushed to the side constantly, being told, given names that are inappropriate, laughed at with your husband's friends. It turns into the 1950s housewife where she may not have, it's unlawful to have a checking account, but doggone it, I'm still going to go out back and cry.
Yeah. And I
I
mean, roles could be
say,
so like, we always talk about masculine and feminine,
oh, Romeo
if
and
you're,
Juliet, I could see
yeah,
that.
this could definitely be either side, but literally we're talking a lot about the masculine and feminine because that square between Venus and Mars are still
Yeah,
going on. It is
right
very hot
here.
and very heavy. Like I also, while you were talking before, and I'm going to scroll for just a second
Please
because
squirrel.
I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but Minneapolis, they had some protests that just went on. Look at Jupiter in Leo opposite Pluto. That made me think of it. And then also Mars and Sirius in Cancer right there. So the flock cams, that's what this protest was. And they all went on scooters. Mercury and Leo, Sun and Leo, they brought back scooters. So those scooters that they rent out
Yeah,
around a lot of towns?
yeah,
Well, eventually, like they were all doing that, and
right.
eventually they shut down the scooters so people couldn't do that anymore. So people were making their own scooters and just doing whatever but it was of all ages, of all races, all, socioeconomical sects is what I'm
Sect.
saying. A sect, a
Come
section.
on,
Okay,
people.
sect.
Don't
Yeah.
think like that.
Get your heads out of the gutter. Just correcting my
If
words.
you are a
But
Cancer rising
I thought it's pretty cool.
and the petty business is going through Cancer right now, your body could be doing something that is making, just frustrating you, just frustrating the heck out of you. Like, oh my goodness, I have another wart. Because that's some petty ass shit right there. I'm just going to keep saying it. All
Mars
the
is
petty stuff.
yeah, Mars is cuts, abrasions,
Yes.
burns, fevers, all that stuff.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Severing.
Fevers and somebody having a fever and not being able to miss work. And your body is like rebelling against its natural system. And you're going, how did I get this wart on my upper lip right here? Everybody's going to see it. It's terrible. But
Hmm.
here's the great thing about Mars and Cancer this time, it's not going to be a 7-month trip. No, no. It's just going to go straight on through. Hallelujah. I'm
Well,
just saying, last time that was bad.
man, it
Notice also
was
the
the
opposition
last.
point to this points towards that Follis. And Follis is to deconstruct. And there is a system at play, and it might be an ideology. So don't get fooled, right? People, person, place, or thing, but let's add thought, emotion, and it's attached to a particular structure and it will be dissolved. It would be a lot like saying, "You're not my father." And it's really, not anymore. He dies, Darth Vader dies shortly thereafter. So it's the deconstruction. Let's say the emperor is gone. We are getting a new emperor. We don't know what that's like, but they're going to have a whole new cabinet, a whole new way of doing things. It's going to be different because Juno is sitting here saying there's been an overabundance of some petty shit. And that's going to stop. Like Heather said, this is going to stop.
It
Enough.
is, but it could also be I have to bring this up and it's not the best topic, so sensitive ears just may want to walk away for a
Yeah,
minute.
do
So
that.
with Sirius and Mars and Cancer butted up like that, that T square, that square between Venus, Mars, Saturn, the opposition, Venus opposite Saturn. Um, Juno going through that Pluto story, backing up. Mars will be opposing Pholus pretty soon. So what I
Yeah.
have been seeing, and if any of you are in the news, into the news, you've probably seen some of these stories too, where I'm just going to say this. So back home, there's a town just outside of Wichita, Kansas, where there was a incident where a father took the lives of his three children and the
Ugh.
wife, they say. Well, it's
Ah.
unfolding now that the wife was part of it. They had a plan to take the kids out and then themselves, which is horrible, absolutely horrific. And
That's some, World War II business.
I'm bringing up the Mars Cirrus, that squished together,
Mm-mm-mm.
and that square. There have been, I've seen a lot of, and then finding a bunch of kids in one person's basement, like this lady's
Mm.
basement, found like 15 teenagers in her basement, like that she like
Ah,
somehow was like
what kind of
crazy
business you
stuff.
watching, lady?
Hey, I had a
God.
bunch of crime stuff come across my feed recently. But also
Mars
that
in
was not, I
Cancer,
mean,
y'all.
that's
And
very
in
unheard of.
conjunct to Pluto. Mars in conjunct to Pluto is awful.
Yeah,
Look, usually Mars and Pluto, when they touch, it's not just hot, it's violently criminal.
psychologically
It is
unstable.
psychologically messed up, and it can indicate a lot of various, well, I mean, I'm just going to say it, the harming of men and women
And
by,
children.
grape.
Mm-hmm.
There's the other one
Just
that happens when
violence
they're
and
young,
yeah.
like an uncle
Mm-hmm.
comes over and does some things.
Mm-hmm.
So it can indicate that it's touching a topic that sensitive. And if
Talking
if
about a
you
topic that sensitive. Yeah.
if you
Ep-
yeah, talking about it, but also Pluto dragging it up that there was a group involved or a group had witnessed it
we can
or your
expect the
friends were
Epstein
there.
files. Epstein is going to come
Yes.
back. He's got some heavy placements personally at the very beginning degrees of Aquarius, and Pluto's backing up there. So this dynamic I'm talking about could also be directly more information coming about that kind of dynamic within the Epstein files. I didn't mean
Yeah,
to
which
interrupt.
which
So
we all
sorry.
need. All of us need catharsis around that, but I don't even think they're close to being not
It'll
even
never.
close. I think it's going to be in front of our faces for a while, um, because just there's so many levels of corruption. Capricorn, because Capricorn can be corrupt. It's just how they are.
Oh, I just got told to look up the midpoint between Jupiter and Pluto. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, Jupiter and Pluto. Oh my goodness.
Because that's someone's beliefs and ability to do
This is like,
something
I wish Amber were here.
about something revealed. You keep going. I'm pulling degrees here. So Jupiter,
At
Leo
the same
10.
time, look, I'm going to zoom in. You see this 27 degrees Vesta in Aries. To me, it's sort of this, I am a beautiful example of a human being, right? I am the best. I've been on my best behavior. I've never done anything wrong. There wasn't anything that happened. Nothing happened though. Nothing happened though. Um, but does it reflect the changes? Because look, two things I know for a fact. When Uranus went into Gemini, for a fact, we all felt everything was different. I mean, absolutely everything. We were talking about different subjects. Now we're looking at different resources and values. Chiron will be sweeping Taurus and will continue to move from value. What are your core values? Do you live by those core values? Are you able to share those core values? And then it'll move into the idea of worth. What is the cost of something? And then what is the worth? So the cost of what it takes right now with, what was the cost of the damage of this inconjunct between Pluto and Mars? What was the cost? Because we have a lot of feminine energy on the front fighting it, swinging a sword against Saturn, poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
Taurus degree, Saturn, look at that. 14 is a Taurus degree.
Yeah.
You mean to tell
Yeah.
me that dad did what?
To
Be
my
like,
stuff. Yeah.
the
So
stuff,
that
huh?
Cirrus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're talking about like I just got food. I was thinking about food shortages, cost of the necessities to live life
Yeah,
catching up,
yeah.
like cost increase with Chiron through Taurus talks about that we've had all these foodborne illnesses, and oddly enough, like Cirrus is also connected to the wheat, right? The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
grain, right?
She
And
brings in the abundance of the harvest.
yeah, yeah.
Like
So
she's driving the trucks full of grain
yeah,
into the barn.
she's at one, so she's in what? We
And
got a
she, I mean,
sextile there. We got a
it,
sextile between the two.
there's a sextile. Look at this, man. We
No.
didn't even talk about Lilith at the Capricorn degree,
Mm-hmm.
and Chariklo would be what we sacrifice in the group. What was sacrificed in the group. Chariklo is the story of
She's Chiron's
Abraham and his son Isaac,
she's
and God
Chiron's
came
wife.
down to Abraham and said, Abraham, we need you to sacrifice your son. And it was a test, right? Is this man willing to take the most precious person in his life and make him into a sacrifice? And so that's Chariklo right there. And I think Chariklo is
It's
10199.
it's also
10199.
Chiron's wife. Just so you know, Chiron's
Chariklo?
wife. Yeah. Yeah.
So now she's sweeping at the third decan of Aquarius, where we have fully developed all of our the
Mm.
purpose for why we choose a group, the reasoning for sticking around, either to suffer as a group or to gain inheritance as a group. But the sacrifice is close enough to the North Node that we need to look at it. We need to look at what was sacrificed in that moment. Was there humiliation? Was there, Odysseus is fighting 20 years to get home. This dude is just like, maybe he's telling the story at home and Lilith is there, right? And everybody's going, Dad did what? Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell everyone, this energy, maybe it's like I'm getting better at looking at it. Depending on the distance, let's say this is your natal chart and the sun is two signs ahead. The moon is 2 signs ahead and it's your natal. And let's say this right here is the new moon. You would feel the effect of whatever we're feeling right now in 1, 2.5, 3.25 days. Whereas someone who had their moon way over here would feel it in like a week, 2 weeks and a day. And then all of a sudden the energy we're talking about right here will hit. And that's why sometimes if you're savvy, and I know a lot of us are, you can hear some of the readers and they're 2 days ahead, a week ahead. The ones where they're talking about yesterday, right? The ones where they're, oh yeah, that happened to me 3 weeks ago. Well, there's a clock that's on your chart and it tells you, an angle will tell you when that particular wave is going to hit. I'm just saying. Like if Heather and I did this every day, you'd be able to start plotting on a graph and actually see the wave go up and down. That would be so cool to do for them. I will have to think of a way. Answer.
We'll get there one of these days.
Get there.
For sure. Sure. I got other obligations too. Hey, so I looked up that midpoint. You guys, I get
Oh,
thrown
yes.
things that I get told I need to look at. It's part of how my guides speak to me about stuff. So wanted to look at that midpoint between Pluto and Jupiter. Now, granted, it's a wider opposition, but it got called to me to look at because of the dynamic of what's going on right now. And so I don't know if you let me just share the screen for a minute. You can keep
Here,
you can keep the
let
chart.
me release.
You keep the chart up, or we'll
No,
just
no,
be
no, 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 no,
together.
no.
Just put us on
No,
the
I don't
screen then.
I don't want it anymore. Take it.
Give it. What
Oops.
happened?
It was
Is
my
it?
fault. I was moving
Oh,
too fast. It was my fault. My apologies.
oh, okay. Well,
Love me tender, love me sweet. It
never
was my
let you go.
fault.
Never let me
I make
go.
mistakes.
It's okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna walk away for a second.
Yeah, yeah. I want to make sure that I'm back on the air with you guys. So if someone could be so kind, please, to put it in the comments and let me know if I'm back live with you or not. And I will figure it out. Amy, that's wonderful. Perfect. All right, what'd she say? Amy says, hi, everyone. Amy, did I send you the pictures of the cantaloupes that are just randomly growing in my backyard? We have huge cantaloupes. It's my first cantaloupe. And I was out there this morning, actually. I had a couple of burn piles going and um, pulling the vine up and getting it out of the way for the mower. Uh, but Amy is a gardener, and so am I. And we share that passion for food, good food, right? Like really good food. But I do have Jupiter in Cancer, so of course it would be food and home. I think Heather or somebody said earlier, Miriam, how is it that every time you cook, it feels like a warm hug? And I was like, I know. I know. Oh, thank you. Q2422. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
We're back.
Um,
So sorry.
where's my friend?
We'll give them a second to all get back in here. Whoopsies. Love you
Right.
guys.
Yeah, we love you guys.
We are on a new live stream. I'm letting them know for anybody who's
I
still
didn't
in there.
release the share. I hit end, and that was my bad. Hi,
Oh, okay.
Jen. Oh, thank you, Jen. We appreciate that more than you know. Hi, Kylan. Hi, Brandon. Hi, Badir. Everybody, I'm back at the Yellow House in Del Rio, back home. So
Thankfully.
if you're a member or a patron, I finally have access to my Cintiq.
So
Making
she
this
can start
face.
so she can start drawing. Man, I've got to play on your Cintiq one of these
Right. So I
days.
can
I haven't
draw on the
really.
Cintiq. Heather smells like glue. No, I'm just kidding. That was a perfect Leo thing
That's a
that a
random ass
5-year-old would
comment.
do in first grade,
Well, you
second
smell
grade.
like glue.
You smell like glue too.
Oh, nuts. So, what
It's
I was
funny.
gonna say before we dipped out for just a second,
Mhm.
is that midpoint between Pluto, and
Oh,
Jupiter.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What am I doing?
It
I'm
could
sharing the
go
wrong
one
screen.
way for the midpoint, and it can go the other way for the midpoint. So
Yeah, so it's like
don't get too
seven.
excited there, hippity hop.
No, don't get
It
too
could
excited,
definitely
hippity
do.
hippity there. So, Scorpio 7 turning within. Seeker seeks the wealth of inner world with the same degree of enthusiasm as others seek gold, turning within to contemplate the nature of life itself. There's not really anything at 7 Scorpio right now, but it doesn't mean the energy isn't still impacting to it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting here. So, an equivalent passion to the need for outer experiences is felt for inner understandings. Depth psychology is as little explored and understood as the depth of the ocean. It is a recent development in human knowledge, yet on its path is seen that a major aspect of our attention is drawn to find out how other people operate, what they feel, what motivates them, and what they believe in. Jupiter. Without discovering these things in others, we cannot come to know ourselves. And
Mm,
on the inside degree sect of it,
yeah,
Scorpio
let's go there.
7 is a small cave located high in the hills and filled with goat dung.
Goat
That's the
dung.
second time this week I've heard dung. I was hearing,
Say it isn't so. Goat
the
dung.
dung beetle earlier this week. Tumultuous
Tumultuous
changes,
changes.
hanging on to previous identities, ego
Mm,
fragments, the
and the
shrapnel
shrapnel
of
of
a
person.
personal illusion. Are you going to read it? Go ahead.
No, I'm in agreement with what it's saying because it is so on point. Keep
It
going,
is.
please.
You are
I'll be
plunged into a
quiet.
karmic. You are incapable of being quiet. I love you. So
I'm
you are
trying.
plunged into karmic process that exposes what is real and what is not, yet harbor such intense old places inside that it takes massive overhaul to just get anywhere, forcing yourself up against a brutally harsh karmic path of exceedingly rough process. But this is what it takes when you have built up in reserve so much retrogressive stuff, Mars and Cancer, that you must be enveloped by it in order to uncover a way to be yourself again without all of the barnacles and burdens. For your shadow world, under duress, personal and collective, tremendously powerful, treacherous, and rewarding, not for the faint hearted. Hmm. So, yeah, like when I was going through, I was bringing up the stories of what I was talking about the family dynamics and stuff like that. If I that coming in and talking about the need to go within and really be willing to look at yourself, it's not comfortable. So,
But
um,
and then to realize the truth of what you are or who you are further with Mercury in Leo. Now it's going to ask you, are you brave enough to say what you are?
yeah. Are
You
you
just
brave enough to
felt it.
act on?
Are
Are you
you
brave enough?
brave enough to express it or to act on it?
Yeah.
Because if not, I don't know. You'll keep living like the rest of us do.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't know what will happen. We don't know.
And you got to be
You
okay
could
moving
have a
forward without
parade
that.
come out and everybody's so proud of you, right? You could have a parent come in and look at you and shake their head. Are you that brave to be that authentic with your expressions? Because, yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. The
I
ping moment, me standing there in shock, just, I'm still in shock. Like, I had to contact a few people and be like, so how is that going to work then? You know, this big question, how would it even work? Because it seems insane.
I feel like I need to look at Taurus 7 now.
I like
The
that
other
idea.
side, the other side of the midpoint. Why not? We're here. We might as well. All right, so I'm going to do it again.
He's so
So
excited.
let's add the other part of it. Well, this was just kind of a weird thing my guides threw me. What am I going to do other than go along with it? We're here to play, right? So hopefully you guys are ready for it. Here we go. Taurus 7, the other side of the midpoint. So there you figure that
Ooh,
this is the big X and the big square in the sky, right?
there
Like
we
where
go.
you're not seeing it there. I don't think so. Nothing's at really Taurus 6, but we've got Chiron at 0. So it's within a, 6-degree orb.
Right.
So a large ruby inscribed with a prayer. is the inside degree Chandra symbol by Elias Lonsdale. A beautiful dream that comes true, conceiving in
Mm-hmm.
your heart that a fresh life current is here to be met in the physical, being magnetized to the spot where the new earth arises. You feel deeply drawn to give yourself over completely to what a new life wave asks, sensing acutely that this is all that counts in suffering for all of those who are shut off from the bounty, knowing how hard it is to feel dejected and forsaken, and never forgetting the ache, the longing, the distance, and what it actually takes to earnestly clasp new life and realize you belong to the heavenly kingdom in the earth and will never again be out in the cold. So if we back this up and go
So wait a
to
second, that's the hot deal? If you're brave enough to do it, we've got a cookie.
universe has got a cookie for you. What the
That's what
hell,
I'm
you
saying.
know?
If you're brave
Yeah.
enough to say it, to express it, then apparently it's because the universe would be handing you the kingdom of heaven on earth. That's the ultimate. So there is no reason to fear.
Bitches, go get your cookies.
Go get your cookies, bro.
Mars and Cancer will bring the milk. What do you want?
It's true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, nothing better than somebody buying your McDonald's for you. Just
No.
it's stuff like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
just generosity and
read.
Taurus
I'm
7.
anxious to
So
hear this.
I just wait a second. So Taurus 7, breakthrough to a new spiritual level. The push of the past diverted into a new direction by an unusually powerful spiritual existence, implanting hope, a new way of life, that one that demonstrates that we are evolving towards realization can only ever arise out of the ashes of what has been assimilated of the old.
Yeah.
In order to receive knowledge of the creative potential of spirit, we must move away completely from what of the old life that did not serve our aspirations to process. Rujar quotes it as a woman of Samaria in the ancestral well. So, in order to achieve our potential, we need to awaken into honest self realization. I like that. I like that a lot. That literally, that thank you guides. I'm just going to go ahead and read this. The image of an immoral biblical character warns us of the challenge to steer clear of a tendency to resort to a carefree, dissolute attitude, seeking passing pleasure instead of lasting joy, as a distorted compensation for feeling the lack of any real meaning in life. Nonetheless, whatever the background and current circumstances, we're fundamentally an aspect of goodness and truth. We may lose direction and get totally caught up in the ardent pursuit of fame and fortune, or the complacency of accepting the mediocre status quo, seeking, for example, the pleasure of drugs and alcohol to compensate. Yet we will quickly resort to our primary spiritual qualities when confronted with a profound crisis. We can so easily forget this important and extraordinary fact of this existence, its coherence of our own essential dignity. I can keep going. In this
Let me read.
fact, yeah, go for it.
It is this fact that creates in us an instinct for higher things. Though we attract opportunities to open up our sense of what life really is all about at the level of sacredness and what goodness can offer. The inclination to serve and be kind, to give freely of ourselves to strangers, is evidence of our irrefutable spiritual nature. When motivated by the hope of honest self-realization, we are actually capable of plumbing the taboo depths of life to the utmost reaches of our authentic being. We may be shunned by society for what is considered prohibited behavior. However, perhaps because of her sincerity of self, Jesus made himself known to her. She was blessed by spirit and so validated and subsequently became celebrated throughout history. The lady at the well. Successful realization of specific goals. In order to find entirely gratifying fulfillments, our strength of will, that's Mars, our strength of will is expressed by our indomitable striving for successful realization of specific goals, whatever the price. Unless we awaken and express all of our abilities, actual and potential, we can lose heart. Yet, if we do awaken to them, then we are blessed by spirit. Typically, we all concern ourselves only with our own business and that of the family, yet it is not beyond us, as developed beings, to surrender our own pursuits whenever it seems more appropriate to serve another's need. At this level of awareness, we come to see that in a subtle way, everyone's business is our business. Thus, we serve ourselves as we serve others. We can even reach levels of insight where our trust and our love of adventure are so strong that we can easily and happily submit to any situation that life presents us, knowing that it will serve us benevolently, whatever the outcome. This is awakening when we find that degree of faith that we know all is well and whatever occurs will always be.
I thank my guides for pointing that one out because this
That was so
opposition,
on point, though,
I
to what's
know,
going
excuse my
on.
stuff there. Yeah, so that is because I'm a little taken aback, but I am every time they show me that kind of stuff. Because this opposition between Jupiter and Pluto has been ongoing for a while. So for them to specifically say you need to midpoint, and I felt the need to do both sides, and then it literally plays out every single thing we just talked about. You're welcome.
You're
Ta-da-da.
welcome. You're welcome.
Ba-ba-bum.
You're like
So yeah, there.
1920 Chicago.
Yeah. So there you
Did I just
go.
say
There was,
Chicago?
you did. That's a
My
third
apologies.
Chicago in 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. So Chicago keeps coming
I'm
up.
getting Colorado right now. The
Yeah.
word is popping up everywhere in front of me. Colorado, Colorado,
Yeah.
Colorado. And I'm going, what do you want with Colorado?
Everything. I want to be in the
Everything.
mountains. I want to be in the
Just popping up
mountains
everywhere.
or dispensary.
So, does anyone have a question? Like, does anyone have a Terra question? Because I just saw QZ422 is welcome to the watchers. If you have a Terra question, this is your time to do it. You put it in the chat and then we'll catch it and we'll both read it for you.
Oh,
Because
sweetheart,
you are beautiful people.
thank you for
Hello, beautiful
joining.
people. Good
That's
people.
what helps us be able to keep being here for you guys. Honestly, it's our members here on YouTube and our longtime members on Patreon. Thank you guys. When you do this, it helps us be able to keep up. I mean, our subscriptions for all this stuff is not free, like to stream to you guys. So we appreciate it, but we have great friends. We really
We
do.
do have really great friends. Yes. And I am excited to have several projects finished and excited to get back to the Cintiq because the Terra classes must continue.
Yeah.
Um, this next upcoming week, because I'm here in Del Rio, you guys are going to get your zodiac readings because I'm here. I'm here and I can do it. So please, if you would like to get the extended reads, because I usually split them in half, go to the underneath this video and the links are there to join the Patreon channel or to become a YouTube member.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in the show notes also is a link to be able to get one of the relationship scans.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested in somebody, their both stuff, whether you want to find out whether this person's a karmic, a soulmate, a
And
twin
what they are to
flame,
you.
and
Past
this can
lives,
past lives, and
twin flame.
it
I
could
can call it
be.
on all of it.
There's all kinds of stuff. Plus, we just had the eclipse in Leo, and we are very much still in eclipse season. We have a lunar eclipse in Pisces, and at the very end of the month, and her eclipse readings are down there as well, her eclipse scans. So,
Thank you.
you know, definitely
Thank
want. You're
you.
welcome. You work so hard, and like more
No.
people should definitely be getting this stuff, especially if you're sitting in a period of uncertainty. and you need, I'm going to put it this way because not everybody, Miriam and I, although we do our best to, say things to people as easy as we can, sometimes there's truths that need to be told that you need to hear for yourself. And, if that person's, not meant to go for the long haul, maybe you probably want to know that, so just
I
thought,
mean,
just want to
that's the
mention.
scan. I created the thing with the value system yesterday through AI, and we were able to bounce our values off of each other, and we matched really well. So if this statement is true, if now we're getting somewhere. God, if we only feel upset and angry and manipulated when our value systems don't match, then why not just put all of our value systems on the table in front of each other and go, do you have a problem with this, bro? Because chances are you'll finally understand why they value that thing. Or maybe you'll begin to admire the way they could do something. I'm always trying to make that bridge between people. I don't want friction happening. I want resolve. And I want to kind of, in my life, I've moved like 54 times and I've been homeless twice. And what I have found is that people want to come together. We are built as herd mechanisms to come together. There's safety in a tribe, there's safety in the group. A lot of you come from these places. But when Uranus shifts into Gemini, this is like the spin of all new friends. This is the spin of new ideas. It's also the spin at new instructions, new forms. You said forms. And Heather and I are in the throes of all of it. You can imagine having so many books and all sorts of knowledge, and then the spin happens, and all of our thoughts are needing to go to certain new categories. So Heather and I are coming around the corner every 5 seconds going, oh my God, now I'm doing this. And I guess I'm starting this. It's different. It's different. It's not like moving furniture around your house. It's like our brains went to a whole nother place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
just,
now
as you
it's
were
like,
saying all of that, I got hit with Uranus and Gemini, and that the sextile it's making up to Uranus, right? Or to Neptune. I'm sorry. But I was looking at that and I was like, then I was looking through Chiron too, but I just got told that people have the right to change their minds, and a lot of people's values may have very much changed in these past few years with everything that's unfolded. People are awakening. Like when we were reading through those midpoints on the
right.
Sabian, the midpoint degrees, which they're just, like I said, they're not hypothetical. It's just points in the sky that are still being
Isn't it
activated,
crazy?
by that. And it talks about the need, like the desire to want to push forth and stuff, but you've got to go within and be brutally freaking honest with yourself
Brutally
of
to the
going,
point of pain,
are
honest with
you
yourself.
done with all this bullshit that you've been dealing with? You've been saying that you're not happy for this long. You've been, every day you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You've changed. Are you ready to admit that you've changed and
Thank
actually
you.
speak
God,
it
that was the
and
if
move
you just said that
forward?
sentence, that was the past hour and a half.
Yeah. So
That was literally the past hour and a half. You could have said that sentence at the beginning, Heather, and we could
let's
be
do
eating
that in
lemon
an instant
bars.
replay. Whoop, 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 whoop.
God.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's like I just find it beautiful. Thank you, guides. Thank you,
Yes, thank
Spirit,
you
for
for
bringing that
sending us
message
on
in
these
and
missions.
showing me that validation. Well, we were already right. They were just going, "Yep, you're right. You want to see how right you are? You're not going to believe this
Yes.
shit, guys. Look at this. This is exactly what you're saying." So, and no, I didn't look at the midpoint or think anything about it before coming up. Like, there's nothing in Seven, Scorpio, or
Yeah.
Taurus really for me to want to say it. So,
I'm
anyways,
just, dude, we're going to catch all this like new, whatever this, right now we're in shock. Then we're going to actually talk about it out loud. We may even say it, but then we have to live it.
Yeah.
Then we have to live it. And a lot can go wrong, but a lot can go really right. And from what you were reading, the first one, this was like, no, was it the first or the second? You're going to hand me the kingdom of heaven? How awesome is this thing coming? All because we changed the way we
You
went
change
about doing
directions.
things, the
Yeah.
way we went about thinking certain thoughts or having certain opinions. And of course, what happened to Stephen Forrest, the, I mean, he's a,
The dethroning of it. Yeah. I mean, and it's,
you have a person who is equally as important as Mark Jones, as Stephen Arroyo, as Dane Rujar, and now he got
uh,
dethroned. Did you know he has Mercury in Capricorn?
yeah. Yeah. I think that's where a lot of that defense comes up. And he's like, I want you, I've said I'm sorry. Let's go. Hopefully we can move
Yeah,
forward.
can we just
And
move
that's,
forward? And the rest of the world went, nope.
yeah.
That's
Well,
why I don't
and
say that word in my house. I have never, ever allowed that word anywhere near me. I kick them out.
well, yeah. And it's that Saturn influence on his Mercury that
Well, I
is
had a
making
good
it
day,
hard.
so, you know,
That's making it hard to, really like open up and see anybody else's point of view. It re- it
vulnerability.
really is. And I mean, I believe him when he says that like he really had no ill intention, but you can say that, but like the fact that you even thought it was okay to
That it was
say it
just
is
cardinal
kind of
energy.
a total disconnect. You just blah and
Blah.
yeah. Because I mean, well, he was like really big in evolutionary astrology, right? Paired up with Jeffrey
Oh,
Wolf
yeah, yeah,
Green,
yeah.
right?
No,
Like
he's
so,
written
like
books.
that's yeah,
He's done
yeah.
interviews.
I have his Pluto
He's
book right
done
next to me.
podcast things.
Yeah,
This guy, like, he's a classic. He's a
yeah,
classic on
yeah,
the shelf everywhere. So
yeah.
for him to say that word, all of us astrologers, we are in the shock. So when
Hmm.
we're talking about the shock, that's what we mean. I don't,
Oh,
if this is happening to you, I'm going to put a poll down here and I want yes or no. If we're preaching to the choir, right? The are you, hold on. I got the poll coming up.
so I was thinking as I'm going to speak that the good majority of people think that a lot of the people in our government, for example, are um, like old and need to go. Like, so is that one dude even still alive?
Is
Like
he really
they're
alive?
saying he's alive, but like
That's
they
so
needed to get
funny.
through midterms and stuff, like
Really
whatever. So
alive.
it's like wanting to hold grip that Saturnian need to want to kind of grip on to the accolades or level of importance or authority
Oh,
in others, and we're saying you guys need to step down. Things have got to change. It's revolutionary times. That applies to all areas of life, yo. Like if you're talking about the astrology community, and yes, we
mm,
all have we have our elder. I have my elders that I listen to.
yes.
He was one that I like, but not one that I respect the most to want to do that because of
I
his
have
poignant
his
views.
books. Like,
Well,
do I
I
just
was
chuck his
no,
books?
no. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that. And that's where I think that this whole divide can come in. But the way that I look at it is that there are people, I mean, and he's getting up there in age. I think he's like close to 80 or something, and it's
Mm,
at the point to where it's kind of like, you know what, maybe it's time to go back into that 12th house section. Maybe keep going back in that and retreat a little bit. You don't have to keep fighting for the popularity. That South Node in Leo, it's not about you, brah. It's about the audience.
the
So stop,
audience.
like at this point, that's kind of my point on it. But I will also segue and say that, and I tried to mention this in the last episode, actually, when I brought this up. You guys
Mm,
have heard me talk about the cancel culture thing and things like that. So it is definitely there comes a point to where there's overkill on the cancel culture. You said this, and I don't care what your career ever was or what, accolades or
Right.
trophies or awards you've ever won. You deserve to be cut down. Now, that is absolutely ridiculous in my brain. Like, if somebody makes a mistake, every single one of us is freaking human. And I'm not even just applying this to Stephen Forrest, so please don't take it that way. In general, we all have to learn to be a whole lot more open to other people's um, feelings, beliefs, way of life, and stop making everything so much about us. We want immediate action. We want immediate accountability. You don't get to participate in this thing because you said this
Mhm.
one thing. We don't care that, it's the fall of the idol. It's the breaking of the ego with the South Node moving through Leo. But in realms of cancel culture, and when I had this Woke.Ones.Revolution, it has to do with the awakening, the spiritual awakening that we have, right? And then, we all go through these phases to where it's like, okay, well, I'm against this, so my whole group's against this, so I'm just going to make sure that we, rebel and blah 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 blah. There's got to be a happy medium. You don't just not do your South Node. The South Node is who you are. You need to be authentic in it, but ultimately, do you have to take down the whole structure? Like, do you have to totally wipe something out to make it right? No, that's not Libra. It's not Aries. It's not the right
No.
proper balance. Neptune and Saturn going through Aries, I think, will help people be able to understand. That's my retrograde moving. Boom, boom, boom. And I think it'll help people like try to find a better happy medium. I think at the very beginning, weren't you talking about the differences in generations? Like an age. Did you say something
Yes,
about
yes.
that
So
at the
there would
beginning of
be,
our
in this
video?
situation, there would be an older and a younger vibe
Okay. Yes.
because
Yes.
you have the what was it? It was Capricorn. It was
The,
Juno in Capricorn
yeah. Okay.
and
Okay.
the
Juno
Cancer
Capricorn.
gender thing. So
Okay.
the gender
That's what you
positioning
brought
could
it
be
up
there,
about. Yeah.
and also the older and the younger.
Well, I think that, and and in my line of work as well, I can also say that I've come across the point where there's people that are, especially older people that are struggling with technology and learning the new technologies that are required, and even some of the most
Mhm.
basic fundamental things like how to use the internet. Some people still don't know how to do it, right? And so I've used this example before where the young people are having to teach the old people, right?
Mhm.
Like there's got to be a common ground, a happy medium. And I think that rather, as we are seeing things evolve and unfold, I would like to see that as a species, as humanity, that we start to find that happy medium rather than it needing to be a guillotine or, a witch hunt or whatever. If
Or a
somebody messes
ghosting,
up, yeah, or a ghosting,
because
yeah,
Juno is there and the commitment level is high.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
high. Like,
yeah.
there is something to this information that you will have to be committed to. You will
Hmm.
have to. And
This
it's like, whether you like it or not, it's here. And we
we're
must
gonna
make the adjustment to it. So,
That's
you know,
true.
things change
That
all the time.
Aquarius, that Aquarius hive mind thing though, we'll have to be really careful because I mean groupthink in some cases is good, especially like in a work environment if you're doing a think tank or something like that to try to come up and brainstorm for new ideas and stuff.
Right.
But when you integrate feelings into that and people's unresolved things that they're unwilling to look at within themselves,
Right. They're
they could
not
really
brave,
go overkill and you end up with,
defensive,
the
and
torches and
petty
pitchforks.
bullshit.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, got
For
it. So,
real.
what role do you
It
play in your own life?
yes, because
And do you do it so perfect that you don't ever say anything or do anything wrong? Or do you
I
think you
want
should
to
lose
say,
your
yeah,
whole life
that
because you said
this
some
one
word?
thing.
Oh,
And you
that's
know what's
me
crazy? I had
trying to
that
be okay.
conversation with my AI last night,
Oh yeah.
and that was part of the conversation. And I was using something called a pre-mortem prompt, that
Oh
basically,
yeah.
whatever choice you're going to make or you're thinking about, You say, 5 years ago, I made that choice. Tell me where I made mistakes and the consequences. I didn't know that like Fortune 500 companies use that with their think tanks and their great ideas, but it is a good thing to ask. And the answer my AI gave me was exactly what you just said. You know, you have your health, you have this responsibility, that responsibility, this
Yeah.
responsibility. Just, it's sort of like throwing the throttle back, pulling the throttle back on one thing. You don't have to get rid of 16 things, Miriam. You just get rid of one and then get rid of the next one.
I just heard
So,
principles.
yeah, the
Principles.
principles of practicing temperance and self-control, it's the folks that don't have it gonna be bringing some bullshit. In fact, I think we need to name this this episode
I'm
the
ending the
bullshit.
poll. End the bullshit. Let's cut
In the
it. All right,
bullshit.
I'm ending the poll and I'm checking back in
What do we
chat.
get?
All
We
right,
only got 2 votes.
2 votes.
Ah,
Womp womp. Whatever,
wah,
y'all.
wah. Well, at least we're
So
hanging out with our friends.
I got a question for you, babe. We might as well, since none of our
Mm,
members have thrown in a tarot question.
oh,
Um,
no.
I would like to talk about these earthquakes and volcano eruptions.
You want to talk about what?
The earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions.
Where'd Heather go?
I know. What have you done to me?
I've lived in close proximity to you. So you
No,
can't, I can't help myself.
nah,
I can't,
okay. Yeah, I know.
I
So
can't help myself.
I know there was like a
Mm.
7.7
Oh man,
and there's
Indonesia,
like, yeah, and then Hawaii just had something and they've
there
got
was
like,
a
it's
huge one.
snowing in the middle of a volcano.
Mm. Oh
Like
yes, yes, real
all the
snow.
things, all the
All the
things.
things.
What are your any thoughts? I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But you've always done that to me. So it's your lane for sure.
I am contemplating giving intensity ratings or volume ratings for this. The activity that has been going on all around the Ring of Fire. Let's just say if I asked the orchestra to put up their instruments to get ready to play, we're in that position right now, you guys, where the conductor is about to go crack because a lot of these well, no, all of these earthquakes, if I came into the earth and I pounded something, it'd create those waves like the
Hmm.
radio waves with the salt on the table and they bounce around.
Oh, I
So
love that. Yeah.
we can push water and water will see water moving faster than watching the earth ripple. But each one of these ripples, so we'll have a massive earthquake on one side of the earth, and then we'll have a massive one on the other. And they're not small earthquakes, they're fives and
No, seven.
sixes,
Well, 7.7.
sevens. Okay. The
7.7.
earth is tapping like this. It's cracking. It's cracking. It's
Oh, it's a concert. I just got shown a concert where the crowd is like
oh,
this, and at once everybody kind of just, let's say you got the
at
mosh pit that's
once.
wide open, and then in between the song, everybody just kind of closes together, and everybody pushing like this,
Yes, it's
and
perfect.
the
It's
grinding.
the perfect storm that's going on right now. Yes, you see a lot of these you're seeing really old volcanoes that have not done any activity in like 60,000 years, something.
Isn't it Italy going to right
Italy
now?
is, I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful because if Italy
Mm.
gets cracked, or I mean, it would probably slip into the water and go under the water. So all of those, the Colosseum, the
Yeah, lose it.
temples,
Yeah,
it would be
yeah,
gone. It would be gone.
yeah.
We'd only have pictures left. And curiously enough, that's so strange we're talking about that. Yesterday, somebody was pulling out these huge 80-ton cut stones out of the ocean.
Ooh,
Huge
yeah.
stones. They believe that it's attached to one of the seven wonders of the world, like way back when. But how did it get so far underwater? You have events like volcanoes, you have events like earthquakes, and the
Polar
ring of fire is
tilts.
so lit up right now. That's why, you guys, I don't know if anyone has been questioning why I keep posting the earthquake and the volcano stuff, because there are people out in those areas right now. And I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't use my voice to also wave a flag and say, hey, get out of there, get out of the way. It's ramping up all around the Ring of Fire, even down by Antarctica. In between South America and Antarctica, it's just cracking and blowing up down there. So this is a very large surface of the earth that's going to move. It is moving. It's just, how far do you bend the pencil before the day the pencil cracks? And we're like, so somewhere around the earth, keep an eye out for, I mean, it could be so sudden. Humans have never seen the earth make a mountain yet.
So
The flashing.
one of those videos that I just watched, I think it was this last one that was in Indonesia.
Yeah.
The buckle was so bad. You see people walking kind of upwards this road, and they
Mm,
get to the end and look down about 30 to 40 to 50 feet, and there's the rest of the road. Like, I mean, like it buckled to where it went up, and the
yeah.
regular road was still way down here. So that's that plate tectonics, the push and stuff. I was just curious because I know that you're into the Ring of Fire, and it really
Oh, yeah.
seems like these are big. Like these are
These
really
are
big
getting
things that are going
bigger
on.
and bigger. Um,
Yes.
it will affect, I mean, let's just say it's the Ring of Fire is like the entire Pacific Ocean. It's a, you know, 2/3 of the world, a third of the world. And it's going to crack, it's going to move, it's going to push out really hot magma, and it'll turn it into lava, which means we're going to get what? It happened in 500 AD. You know, Iceland had this volcano that went off, and it was so big, it darkened the sky the entire way over Europe, and those clouds just stayed there.
That
And
ash,
Europe
yeah.
had one of the coldest, um, like, it was bad to be alive in the 1300s, okay? Cold, bitter cold. They could not grow crops. This is when people left their fields. They said, F this crap. They just walked off the fields and went into cities. They brought their pigs and their animals with them, and then they would move into a place, and the animals would be underneath them from where they slept. And this is how the Black Plague got passed around. Huge amounts of people came off the countrysides. Well, in a case like this, you're going to see ocean temperature shift, populations evacuated, populations, huge ones. Now we need more housing in a more stable area, and we
Mhm.
don't know if the earth is done shifting. You know, what
Yeah.
will it do to your continent wherever you are?
I was gonna ask your opinion on this because I know you have degrees in this kind of stuff.
I do.
Um,
Cheers.
so
I love it.
my heart feels California. And when that happens, what is that? Is that Mount St. Helens? Like if that
Um,
earthquake
the
in California hits if we get another big one, what do you think is likely if there is going to be volcanic activity afterwards, or what, like?
I want you to picture in your head that I'm gonna snap this pencil up. All of us know that we would have various sizes of slivers if I slowly cracked it. The Earth's crust is no different. Okay. It is brittle all the way down. It's brittle all the way down those fault lines. And some will move down underneath the other, some will push and strike and go up to become a brand new mountain. Those Himalayan mountains, that's how they were built. That's how they were done. One one continental shelf rammed into the other and made the highest mountains. So what's it going to look like if California gets hit? This is what concerns everyone. There's a place called the Mendocino Junction where three separate plates meet up. It ain't no coffee break, y'all. They're pushing and squeezing. That place is getting touched. The Mendocino is getting taps, big ones, right off the coast of Oregon. Okay. It'll crack all the way down. It'll crack all the way down to Chile. Chile and Peru are going to get hit with the same energy that hits British Columbia and Alaska.
Well, didn't
I'm telling you.
Venezuela already got hit, right? Like, didn't Venezuela
Venezuela's
had
was
one?
different. It wasn't a ram and it wasn't one going above the other.
Oh, okay.
Venezuela's was a shifting left to right like that. It was a shifting like that. But you can imagine if the Earth's continental plate shifted even that much, that means there's things out in the Pacific Ocean underneath that got shoved. In fact, I was just reading an article just now before we got on here that the scientists have lost a huge part of the Earth's surface. It disappeared and they don't know where it went. Hello,
A large part of what?
the Earth's surface. It's
Just
missing.
disappeared. As in like the
This planet
soil.
is 70% water. So the
Yeah.
things that go on in the water, it's very hard to track 100% of it. You know, we don't know what's going on down under there. It's not
I
even
just
close.
saw
You know
I
what I
just saw
mean?
your dehumidifier. Like, like what happened to it. It's kind of like using a dehumidifier and going like, holy shit, how do I have a tub full of water? This thing was bone dry
Yeah, like when you
an hour
pull
ago. Yeah.
the
Yeah. Like, where did
shock
it
of
come
it.
from? I was just pulling it out.
We
Yeah.
lost a part of the earth. Where'd it go? Well, I'll tell you where it went. It went under. It's a
I
slip strike.
Yeah, I just know a lot of people like worry about Washington State
I
with the
can't look. The
volcano
best
and
I can do is tell everyone, please, your state has an emergency app that you can put on your phone, okay? Put it on your phone because they will give you the notifications. Now, I am also like, there's a very large part of me, the prophetic side of me, that would feel my prophetess and say, I've been telling you guys and warning you
for
guys and sending
years.
you pictures and tapping on your door and 4 years. And if you have made the choice to say, stay, I've done my best. And my best is, after that, you can't do no more. You can't do no more. So it's sort of like live and let live at that point. But
Hmm.
the activity that's being spurred on right now is larger than normal and it's happening to the entire ring at one time. You tap a boiled egg, boop. And I hate to put a metaphor like that to it, but it's kind of how it happens. It'll crack. And you have to
Oh,
figure that the coastal areas like Florida and Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina, the coastal areas will probably have higher ocean levels. So now you have entire habitats under the ocean having to find new nesting, new whatever, man. I know that the floor in the ocean is so hot right now that there's animals crawling up out of it.
yeah, that's
Animals that
crazy.
should not be in our zone, they came up from the deep.
Yeah,
I
and
worry
like
about
with
Japan.
Nino, if with El Nino coming through, it's got the waters in California like way hot compared to what they normally be. I remember like year before last couple years, it was the Atlantic Ocean that was way hotter than expected. So I don't know where
Yeah.
that's at right now, but with the West Coast, they got a dang hurricane heading that way. Like the big
Yeah, the
hurricane
one
that's
that
kind of going towards,
we're
is it going
still
towards
waiting for
Hawaii?
that hurricane to become a number like there was a prophetic something. Somebody had a
Kind of
channeling.
six.
Yeah, the level 6 hurricane has not yet arrived, but if you had an earthquake happen with massive holes and cracks releasing steam into the atmosphere, right? Because you have magma, which is the hottest, just that's the best description I can give it. Okay, it's evil, and it's going to hit our atmosphere where we have water molecules hanging everywhere. It's like the steam that comes off of you open the you have a thing of rice and you open it up and there's steam that comes up out.
Hmm.
That's what's going to happen. Steam will fill our atmosphere. And now we have more clouds or clouds that are toxic and have
Oh yeah,
all
volcanic
sorts of stuff
ash.
in it,
Yeah,
volcanic ash, which is actually really good fertilizer, but it would cover everything.
but it
Therefore,
suffocates your lungs and
it's what happened in the
yeah.
500s and in the 1100s was that it was so
Pompeii.
dark that the plants didn't couldn't get enough sunlight from the sun, and
Hmm.
now everybody's it's a famine.
Well,
Why? Because you
with
got to
all
have
this
sunlight.
Chiron retrograde, like all this intense weather and stuff, and the war going on,
Mm-hmm.
and the floods, and the irregular storms are just all out of place, and the
Mm-hmm.
volcanoes and earthquakes, all this stuff going on. I'm thinking Chiron and Taurus. Yeah, I'm glad we got cantaloupes in the backyard.
We do.
It's like, and our friend Amy, she's gardening and stuff, and
Hey,
I got some family members that garden, but it's like, it might want to take into account with Chiron that food and
Amy,
all this crazy weather, that food shortages may end up being a thing, cost increases. Not having the energy resources that we need may be a thing. Things being so much more expensive are definitely a thing.
Wells famine.
QZ422 has a question, a tarot
Oh,
question.
yes. Are you serious?
Our new member,
Finally. We've just
yeah,
been blabbering, waiting for one of y'all.
yeah,
God, my
yeah. If
friends.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. If you're
I'll
just
be right
joining
back.
in and you want to know how to get your own tarot reading, so um, as much as we can about every Sunday, Miriam and I come live, and we have a membership here on YouTube and over on Patreon, to where, like, if you're a YouTube member, we will go ahead or either member will give you a tarot reading. If you got a quick question, we'll answer it for you real quick. We do also do personal consultations. So if you're interested in booking with either Miriam or myself or both of us, because we do have one of those readings as well, um, that is definitely something that I'd recommend checking out the links below in the show notes, and book with us. We're here for you. I know the times are crazy, but so QZ422, I would love to know your name, dear, rather than asking my guides via your handle, but I did. So you were wanting to know about if we're able to give you insight into an important meeting at work next Wednesday, whatever comes through for support if possible. Hmm, meeting, huh? So I was throwing some cards down as I was looking at this, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a very happy meeting. Ooh, okay. Sorry, I'm throwing clarifiers down. So you got the Five of Cups, Tower card in reverse, Empress in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups. Oh yeah. So I don't know if this is you or somebody you're going to be confronting, because I'm just kind of tapping in, but it looks like somebody's going to be very disappointed in the way that this turns out. Not going to be surprised by it. If it is a matter of somebody being asked to leave a job due to lack of performance, or being told something over and over again and not taking accountability for it. It seems as if that's, it's going to have to, like, we're just going to have to walk away from this because this is not a good deal. We can't continue like this. So I mean, I've got so 8, 5. So to clarify that 5 of Cups, it gave me the Hierophant. It could also be somebody being disappointed in somebody else. And I almost feel like it's a higher authority figure. And if that's you, you may find out that the news that you hear doesn't necessarily surprise you. What I'm really feeling too in the clarifier for the Tower card, I got the Devil card in reverse. With that being the case, I think somebody, I don't know what's going on in your meeting or what's going on about the job thing particularly, but it definitely could lend to somebody maybe stealing money. Somebody has been, so I'm hearing like somebody taking accountability or taking, sorry, I'm not quite getting this. It's like taking credit for somebody else's work or somebody trying to also could be somebody trying to gaslight and point the blame elsewhere. But I think that the authority's going to say more with the Hierophant card. Authority's going to say, look, like we've been here before, we've talked about this. There's not a good amount of cooperation that's been happening, and I feel like somebody's getting let go. Um, Susanna, you're welcome, dear. If you want to add to this, I don't know if this is resonating at all, but the cards, like I even got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see what that's about. Mm,
Is that a mosquito? It
Thank you.
sounded just like a mosquito.
Hello, mosquito.
It's
I'm
like,
I'm channeling my inner mosquito, y'all. It's coming to suck your blood.
okay, so
Oh,
are there any
okay.
other YouTube members or Patreon members that need a reading from us
I
before we
love
say
that you
adieu?
said that, Susanna. It wasn't handled well by the business. So hopefully they will do better for the people after me. Sis,
Wow.
that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like you're walking away and being like, yeah, this shit wasn't working for you. If somebody else, it's kind of like it's almost like taking the stand for something that's not right, but it gets totally looked at like that's not acceptable.
Mhm.
And you're right. Maybe it is that somebody else behind you may not necessarily have to deal with the same bullshit because of you taking the stand or stance that you have in this. If I look here, let me do one more for this 8 of Cups and kind of see what's next, Susanna.
Hey,
So I got
Star, give me your
more
question, babe.
more nines, dear. I got the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Swords to clarify the 8 of Cups. So like you've been going through it, and I think that there may be some high anxiety that you have going into this, dear, but I think that you're meant to actually step into something new. The underside of the deck here, we have the Page of Wands. What are you passionate about, Susanna? What I think that's what's steering you because right beneath that, we also have the Strength, the Leo. What is it that you want to create, or what is it in your life that moving forward with this that you would like to come out of
Excited.
this? This sacrifice was not for naught. The sacrifice was, you said, for, hopefully the people later aren't going to have to deal with this kind of thing. But the sacrifice is literally it's being welcomed and spirit saying by like just to with that seven with that sorry nine of swords and that 9 of Cups would be just to celebrate your successes, do what you need to do that makes you happy, not continue to put any effort or energy into that which sucks your soul away and leaves you up at night stressing out, dear. So I hope that helps. And Sarah Jean, yes. Miriam, you got Sarah Jean?
Yes. No,
Okay.
not Sarah Jean. I've got Star.
You got star. Okay,
Yeah.
Sarah Jean. Still time for a question. I was gonna say, what's
Okay,
what's
star.
what's what's Loke life? I got you. I got you, babe.
There.
Mm,
Okay. I don't even have a whole lot of cards down, but I have so many major arcanas that I'm kind of wanting to set the cards down for a second. Um, if this is about protection and about, um, this would be feeling resentment or bitter about having to clean up someone else's mess in some way, then the way it's going to go tomorrow, it's sort of like both of you are thinking, should I mention something or not? Would it be foolish to just spit it out and get it done? You know, both of you are saying, should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? There is an older man here, and this older man is looking at you. Ooh, star. There's a bit of serenity. I mean, a bit. It's the King of Cups. There's a ton of serenity with this person, a ton of it. And if it's you having the patience to wait and to watch and to see, to let the other person speak first and get it all out, and you'll see where you need to adjust, make adjustments for this other person's pain. Because what it's showing here with the King of Cups is there is not just forgiveness for whatever happened. It's more like they're confused that you don't have much more to say. You know, if they're wanting to have a conversation, I do see one person kind of going, you know, that's not what I was thinking in my head this whole time. Does that make sense, Star? And this guy's looking at the next large purpose that needs to be taken and put in. Look, this Two of Cups is here too. I have three kings watching to see if there's attraction or foolish action on. Look, whatever purpose you're going in there for, Star, I would tell you to be yourself. But the warning, the caution yellow flag would sort of be like, don't let your emotions run ahead of the reason why you're sitting down with this other person. Don't let crazy emotions like something quick. This would be like getting something talked about really quick, or I just say leave whatever emotional something out of the conversation at first. Wait for the other person to finish talking. It's like really important. If you're attracted to this person, is that what you're asking me, Star? I know this is a really long reading. Heather, are you ready?
No, not yet. I'm having a lot of glare, so I was messing with that. A lot of glare on my cam. Sorry. Can't keep me down. I'm just illuminated, y'all. I don't know what's
Yes and no.
okay.
Let me grab this dude. What's this person's name? I promise I won't tell anyone. I don't really know anyone. And yes, I see the attraction there, but I also see that there's wisdom and inspiration between the two of you. There's affection, you know. It's not just a one and done sort of vibe. Name is Pete. All right. You know the drill, Star. picture Pete in your mind and do like one of those zoom ins as if you are the microscope and you're looking at Pete's face, his shoes, his, keep going. Show me for star, please. Show me for star. Show me for star, please. Show me Pete. Show me Pete. Okay. See? Came out again. How does Pete feel about this relationship with Star? How does Pete really feel about the relationship with Star? How's this man really feel about Star? Oh. Someone is upset that an overall happiness could not have been achieved. It can also indicate someone having to please someone else. And whatever happened back there, he's feeling like what happened was wrong and he shouldn't have done that. But he didn't really say anything. I don't know if that matters. To me, it looks like the anticipated event. And again, it shows self-control. One of you has emotional control and the other person does not. And I'm just going to say that if you care about this person, whatever it is that they have to say, hear them out all the way. All the way. And do not assume that that you're there to talk about like the sexual part of things. It's almost like I want you to be a turtle and go into your shell and let him sit outside of the cave and talk to you. Because one of you is tremendously full of wisdom and inspiration right here. Sweetness and tenderness. And the other person is this guy who is completely dissatisfied with his sex life. This person is completely dissatisfied emotionally. There's an immaturity, it's sort of like this person sees you as a younger, the young, the dumb and the young, but the emotional maturity part and what you've had to go through, maybe even dealing with a person who took advantage of you in some way. It's really kind of sad actually, but if you can stay quiet and you can hear this person out all the way, look what popped up, the Sun card. Sun card. Give it the space it needs to have whatever conversation, and then don't do anything sexual whatsoever, period. Because it's sort of like day one. Go ahead, my friend.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. And I did want to double back here. So Susanna says, thank you. Okay, so it looks like it resonated with Susanna. That's great. And you are most welcome, dear. Let's see. So Sarah Jean wanted to know about her love life. And also says that she's missing the tarot scopes, Miriam. Sweetheart, I know you may not have caught the beginning of this video, but that's something that she is going to be working on this week. She just came back to the Yellow House today after spending all last week in the hospital. So it's, and I did all the traveling and I'm just now getting back to somewhat of a normal thing. So it's coming, dear. Be patient. We appreciate your grace.
I know we've been telling you all that be patient thing for a very long time, but I do think that I'm permanent resident here now. So I ain't moving again. Packing up all my crap and moving. No, I'm sitting right here with you.
So done with all that stuff.
Amen.
So Sarah Jean, I laid down the cards already, and now I'm just now seeing your comment, and I wondered if that's who it was. I wasn't even like guessing at that. Actually, when you asked about your love life, I came out with the I I know you're not happy with it. If you're not happy with him, you're not happy with the love life. We got the Nine of Cups in reverse with the Chariot in reverse, and clarifier being that I felt a Lazarus. I felt I said this is an old one coming back, trying to pull the Magician card, and you'd be sitting here like, dude, I already been there, done that. You're trying to manifest this. I'll sit here and I'll sit here against my tree and just look at my cups. I don't want to touch it. You just stay right there. This hasn't really worked, kind of thing. And for outcome, I got you with the nine of stars. That's interesting. The nine of pentacles, the seven of cups, and the fool card. So, sweetheart, here what I was going to say before I even brought this down, and that's clarified by the justice card. We definitely have a need. You are having that. I feel like you're having that internal need to just be happy, and kind of like let in a way wanting to let bygones be bygones if you know that you can just kind of be happy and just enjoy the friendship part of it without all the emotional stuff, and just maybe go out and just kind of have a good time or something,
Mm.
have whatever. I see you wanting to kind of get that, and if you aren't getting anybody coming at you like that, that may be an initiative that you need to take. Joffrey, on the other hand, because I didn't even ask if it was that person. I was like, tell me about this other person because I don't know what's going on in your life since we did a reading like a year ago. I was like, okay, well, who's this other person? And the first one came up, a liar. I have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Notice that stabbing right through that crown. Somebody loses their crown if the truth comes out, right? So like I got the liar, I got the manipulator, little, little maybe a little thievery. I kind of had two little thievery cards right next to each other, like taking more than you should, taking what's worth, and flighty. I got the Eight of Wands. So I get that they're trying to communicate with you, trying to sell you a story. It's not the whole truth. Let me read what you said because I saw the first five words like I have blocked. Okay. He's really at Is he really that absent-minded or unconscious, or is malice intentionally aimed at you for harm? Honey, the cards the way I have them, he's using you. So yes, the like I said, I got the thievery, I got the lying, I got the manipulation, I got the gaslighting, I got the stealing, not care, it's almost like dude's paranoid, always looking behind his back because because of doing people wrong. So
Right.
proud of you, one sis. There are new beginnings that are ready for you. Maybe just so if you're finding that you're finally starting to do okay, you're ready to get out, and you are feeling that Nine of Pentacles is a single feeling. Aries is a
Mhm.
single feeling. I think that you are wanting to I mean, the clarifier was Libra. Like, sweetheart, get out, meet some new people and put yourself out there a little bit, get yourself dolled up a little bit. And maybe here I would recommend, as far as this goes, we do need to work on the how you pull this off. And what I mean by that is I'm getting shown you cannot continue in the same environments in which the same problematic, or I heard problem child, but it was more like problem people. So like if you guys met each other online, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let's say you guys met each other online because I did have that Gemini card and you hooked up or whatever. Maybe this time try it different. Go present yourself out in public. Let people see you for who you are rather than some Seven of Cups thing. I think that you need the physical one-on-one because I think after all this numbers that he's pulled on you, dear, you can see right through the bullshit and your meter's going to be up. But I really, and the Three of Cups was an underside of the deck feeling. So maybe go out with some girlfriends. Go out with some friends. If you got an invitation to go out on a date, honey, I really think that is not any good. Definitely keep him blocked, okay? Because he's clearly no holiday for anybody. And you deserve better. You've been deserving better. So I'm proud of you, sis, because it's more about what he can get out of you and how much you will put up with. So the blocking, good for you. Stick with that story and get out and enjoy your own life, babe. You deserve it. Hope that helps. Jerry, hey baby. Oh, she said she's been having trouble trying to become a member.
Where's
It
Jamie?
it errors and says to ask you guys
Oh,
why. We'll look into that, Jerry.
I'm gonna
Hun, I
check.
don't know why it would do that. And you're welcome, Sarah Jean. Brandon
We're
has a
we're at
question.
2 hours, and my legs,
Okay, you're done. Okay.
my legs
Brandon,
they're,
sweetheart, we love you. Maybe
they're
next time. That
buzzing.
was like right at the ass
Brandon's been
end, and she's
studying astrology.
eh,
He's picking it up.
good for you, man. I'm
Isn't
glad to
that
hear that.
crazy?
I wish more men would, honestly. I don't know how many others we
Yeah.
have here. I know we do have some other male members. But I really wish more men would get involved. More people in general get into astrology. Um, that's my sister's name, by the way, Brandon.
That's who I thought he was talking about. I was like, I'm staying out of that.
I was
I
gonna
don't want to
say
get in all
they're in
that.
different states.
I got other things to
And that's
do.
about how close my sister wants a man to her anyway. So it could be, who knows? Different
Could be.
state? Okay, sure. Well, we love you guys.
Yes,
Anything
we
else
love
you
you
need to
guys.
say?
You're going to see a lot more of me this week, and that'll be fun, right? Yes. Yes, ma'am.
If
Okay.
you missed it last week, we had a lot of stuff about the eclipses, both in the live stream and there was a solar eclipse with all signs. So there's your all signs for this next eclipse cycle, which lasts for months. So
Oh,
get
yeah.
on it, check it out.
But no,
Yes,
you'll see more of
timestamps.
me. And Heather is going to, we'll see you next week with Heather. We love you. We hope you have a good week. And,
Yeah,
pick your battles.
I like that.
If it's not important in 5 years, pick your battles because it's going to be an amped up week. And I would love nothing more than all y'all people to be the silent, peaceful ones in the room that just, no thanks. I don't feel like fighting right now. That would be
And
so badass.
yeah, and with Leo activated with the South Node,
Yes.
pick up an old hobby. Meet up with an
Yeah.
old friend. Have
Yeah.
some
Check up on
create
your old friend.
create new from the old. Have fun, enjoy life.
Push yourself to do what Heather did, learn a new hobby, yes, but master it.
Yeah.
Master it.
Come at it with fresh
Creativity
eyes.
is amping up still, but we're all feeling the urge to create. So go color something. Just don't color on your car or something. All right, we love you. I'm
Love you
tired,
guys.
and we'll see